Welcome into the Locker Room presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. We continue our preview of East Alabama teams as sectionals has finally arrived. It is actually the day of sectionals, and we are talking with the head coach of the Piedmont Bulldogs, Coach Austin Bragg, whose team is in the North Sectional, so they're wrestling in Birmingham. Coach, let's just kind of start with the season as a whole, kind of how you would evaluate your guys' season.
I think we've had a pretty good season. We finished our dual record of 25-6, which is much improved over last year. I think getting some key pieces back that didn't wrestle last year helped out a lot. Experience-wise, we had kids that worked all summer long, and that made a huge difference in how our season ended up. So sectionals coming up, we're looking forward to it, and I think we're going to surprise some people.
You were talking about duels. You guys made it into the dual state bracket. You obviously fell to Corner, who then fell to Weaver. Just kind of talk about this team as a whole from top to bottom and why it made you guys one of the better duels teams in the state of Alabama.
It's all about matchups. You know, personally, we matched up better against Weaver in our region duels. I had a chance to beat them. You know, unfortunately, we fell a little bit short, but I think when we got to Corner, it was a shock for somebody, you know, for traveling a couple hours, you know, only wrestling one duel and facing a solid team like Corner. You know, it's all about matchups, and we got the matchups we wanted. We didn't wrestle our best that day, but I think we gained enough experience to help prepare us in the future and know what to expect coming up in the future.
Coach, I've talked to a lot of South teams, only a few North teams. You guys are in that North Sectional, which is just an absolute war. You start with Asheville. You can look at St. John Paul II. You've got, you know, Weaver. There's just, I mean, the list goes on. Corner's one of those teams in the North section, and there's even more that I'm obviously missing. Dora, Deschler, list goes on. Just talk about this North section, the competition, and how you guys can, you know, compete with that.
Yeah, I personally think it's the toughest section in the state as far as 1A through 4A. These teams are solid top to bottom. You know, the problem with us is we got to get over the idea, okay, we're not on their level, because we are. You know, we've wrestled against some of these teams. Some of them we beat in duels, some of them we didn't, but our biggest thing is having a good mindset, going in there with an open mind, knowing, hey, we can compete with anybody as long as we wrestle our best, eliminate our mistakes, and do the right things.
Coach, you guys have wrestled a lot of these teams throughout the season. We have a strong of a competition right here in our areas you're going to find in the state of Alabama. But then you actually just, your last time you guys hit the mat was in the Piedmont Dogfight, which is the tournament you put on. And you've seen Dora, Deschler, you had Montgomery Catholic, had Prattville Christian Academy, who are some South teams, but still some teams that you're going to see at state next week. Just kind of talk about how you felt like the Piedmont Dogfight tournament went, and just kind of talk about the, you know, putting that together and just kind of all the teams that were there.
Yeah, you know, our goal for the dogfight is always try to get the best of the best there. You know, we want to see where we stand up at the end of the day. Unfortunately, we had a couple of injuries. We had one or two guys that didn't get to wrestle in the tournament, starters that normally would score points for us. We also suffered another injury during the tournament. So we had several matches that were one-point matches. And that, I think that makes a difference. Those are winnable matches for us. You know, Caleb, for example, wrestled Herrick to a minor decision. You know, Herrick's a phenomenal wrestler, state champion from Cherokee County. And he wrestled him to a minor decision. So I think that gives us hope and confidence moving forward that, hey, we can compete with these top-ranked guys as long as we just minimize our mistakes.
Coach, talk about all the things that go into sectionals off the mat. You got to get a hotel booked. Then you got to get your team down there. You got to do a coaches meeting. You got to try to avoid the distractions, you know, because these guys get in a new city, they're at a hotel, it's run wild, you know, and just a lot of craziness that you have to deal with. How do you get your team to maintain their focus, and how do you maintain your focus in the process?
As far as keeping the team maintained focus is keep them in a routine. You know, as soon as that day prior to section, we're still going to practice. We're still going to, you know, check our weights. We're still going to make sure we have everything ready to go. When we travel, we may let them know, hey, this is a business trip. You know, yes, it's a fun, exciting time of the season, but we're here to do a job, and our goal is to accomplish that mission. So we keep it in a routine. We make sure they have a decent bedtime. That way they get plenty of rest. Make sure they're fed very well the night prior, and then the next morning, it's just like it is any other tournament. Hey, we're getting up, we're checking weight, we're eating breakfast, we're making sure we're doing what we need to do and get where we need to be.
All right, Coach, let's just talk about kind of a couple guys on your team who obviously are going to have higher seeds at sectionals. Talk about a couple guys that maybe are going to have to fight to try to get to Huntsville. Let's start obviously at 108. You've got Miles Bailey. It's no surprise. Obviously, kind of looking at that section, Tristan Garrett's in the south, Driver's in the south. Him and Fulmer have went at it, split with each other. Obviously, I don't want to talk about Fulmer, but we're going to focus on Miles Bailey, talk about him and just kind of getting him to hit his peak this weekend at sectionals.
Yeah, Miles he's a hard-nosed kid. You know, he's one if you want to know what chain wrestling looks like, watch him wrestle. He goes from one move to the next move to the next move, which is what I want all of our wrestlers to do. But he's one, no matter the situation, whether he's sick, whether he's hurt, whether he's got bumps and bruises, you know, when it's time to wrestle, he straps up and he gives 100%. We're looking forward to a lot of things out of Miles. You know, he's 10 pounds underweight. And, you know, only weighing 98, 99 pounds, you know, wrestling 10 pounds under is a little disadvantage, but he makes up through grit and determination.
Well, I weighed 91 pounds and wrestled 106 when I was in school. Coach, obviously, Isaac Bailey's a guy that's been good for you, but in some certain – actually, I think he was the guy you were talking about that got hurt at the Piedmont dogfight. So let's start with his status. Is he healthy? Is he going to be good for sectionals? And then, two, how do you get him to wrestle his best wrestling of the season this weekend?
Yeah, Isaac's going to be fine. Like I said, it's that time of the year after a long grinding season. Kids are going to get bumps and bruises. Isaac will be fine. We held him out of practice, you know, a day or two and get him stretched out and get him loosened up. I think the biggest thing for him, like I said, it was confidence. He's been there before. He knows what to expect. But I think over the last several weeks, his confidence has really increased. And like I said, winning couple of the matches he's won against, you know, state placers, it opened his eyes. Hey, I can do this, and if I put my heart into it and continue working hard, I know I can get to where I want to be at the end of the season.
Coach, one of your most improved wrestlers of the season, in my opinion, and he's been good, but has really turned it on of late, and that is Dawson Tidwell. Just kind of talk about, or Caleb Tidwell, pardon me, talk about what he's done for you guys.
Caleb is another one of those hard-nosed kids. You know, he's one of those ones, if you ask him to run through a brick wall, he will. You know, if he's running a 100-degree fever, he's like, Coach, I'm ready to wrestle. I'm like, no, dude, you're not going to wrestle. You're sick. But with him, it's just getting in the right weight class. You know, he's won numerous matches at a higher weight class, but we finally got him down where we think he'll be the most successful. I think he's gonna surprise some people. Nobody knows who he is, which is how we like it. But I think he's gonna go in there and he's gonna put on a good show at sectionals and show people that, you know, there's more than just one or two kids here at Piedmont. We got, you know, 5 or 6, 7 kids that can really stand out when they want to.
All right, Coach, we're going to talk with Caleb next segment. We're also going to talk with Hunter Bagley, talk about him and kind of how he can make his best impact of the season this weekend at sectionals.
So with Hunter, you know, he's another one, had to get him in the right weight class. He's one, he finally decided, you know, after about a month of the season, all right, maybe I'm not in the right weight class. I need to get where I need to be. And we finally got him cut down, and he done it the right way. You know, he's not one that's going to yo-yo his weight from day to day, and he's been, you know, slowly cutting it over the season based off of what the weight plan says he's allowed to do. His biggest thing is realizing, hey, I can be good too. You know, he's lost most of his losses this year has been 1 or 2 point matches, and so that's why I keep telling him, like, dude, all right, one move here, one move there, that match could have swung a different way. And I think that's the biggest thing is we're getting him over that hurdle of, okay, I'm losing close matches. Now, how do we change things enough to where we can be the one winning those close matches? He's a hard-nosed kid too. He works hard, and he's fun to be around, and I think he's going to surprise some people well.
All right, Coach, I know I'll leave some guys out. You don't want to do that, so anybody else that you feel like could, sneak up on some people this weekend at sectionals?
Bentley Chandler, our 175. He didn't wrestle last year, but he made it to the blood round as a 7th grader. He won over 40 matches as a 7th grader, so I think he's going to sneak up on some people. Our 215, Elijah Young, first-year kid. He's won over 30 matches first year at 215. But we got several others in there that I think will put up a good showing. And for some of these new kids, because we got several kids that are brand new to wrestling, and I think seeing this experience in the large scale of sectionals, I think, they may hit some speed bumps, but the experience they gain from it will help prepare us for the future.
All right, Coach, thank you so much. Good luck to you guys at sectionals. When we come back, we're going to talk with 2 Piedmont Bulldog wrestlers, so do not go away. I'm Namath Pitts, and you are watching The Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.
Ted's Floors and Beyond is excited to introduce our all-new outdoor living collection. Have you ever dreamed of elevating or even creating an outdoor living space, whether it be for grilling, lounging, playing, entertaining, or just winding down? Our quality tile and stone, combined with our expert craftsmanship, will no doubt create unforgettable outdoor moments with family and friends, while also enhancing the beauty and value of your home. Call us today.
Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you the locker room each and every day. Ted's Floors and Beyond has all your flooring needs, whether it's hardwood, laminate, carpet, tile, luxury vinyl. They have it for you right there at Ted's. You can go by their showroom there in Anniston. You can pick out what you like, want, and need, and they can do that there at Ted's. Also, they've got their partnership with Welburn Cabinet and will offer you a complete kitchen or bath makeover. That includes cabinets, countertops, flooring, backsplashes, tile showers. They can get it done there at Ted's Floors and Beyond. And now they offer you work on your outdoor space, whether it's an outdoor kitchen, patio, or living space. They have specially made outdoor tiles and stones that can enhance your outdoor experience. Go by and see them today at their showroom in Anniston on Highway 431, right before you get to Sachs Elementary School, or visit them online at shopteds.com. That is shopteds.com. Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you the locker room. Welcome back into the locker room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. I'm Namath Pitts. We told you before the break we were going to talk with two Piedmont Bulldog wrestlers. That is true, but we're going to talk with one this segment and the other the next. We are joined now by Caleb Tidwell, not Dawson. I apologize there. I'm going to start calling you Dawson, though. That's your new nickname. What you think about that?
I think it's great.
All right, Caleb, let's just talk about the season so far. You're somebody that I'll be honest with you, Caleb, you've really turned it on since Christmas. You've started really placing high in a lot of tournaments. Not saying that, you're wrestling bad at the beginning of the season, but you've really got hot here of recent and have really been just climbing in terms of getting seeding points. Just kind of talk about how you would evaluate the season for yourself.
I feel like, since I came from football, I'm a three-sport athlete. I have to go from one sport to the next. So I feel like at the beginning of the season, I'm still kind of rusty. I'm trying to get back in the swing of things. But after Christmas, I feel like that's when I really hit my peak and I start doing the way I want to wrestle.
Yeah, let's just talk about managing weight. Are you one of them guys that has to kind of watch your weight, a guy that cuts weight, or are you somebody that kind of just gets to eat and do whatever? Just kind of talk about managing weight and making sure you got yourself at the right weight.
So at the beginning of the season, I was at 165, and halfway through the season, Coach Bragg asked me to cut to 157 for, the regional duels. So one way that I usually go about it is to go at a low-carb diet, eat some low carbs, low calories, and then get to low enough to where I could eat whatever I want, so I could just maintain the weight.
All right, let's talk about kind of just this team as a whole, kind of talk about some of your teammates for a minute. And obviously, you've come on late. Miles Bailey's been really solid for you guys. There's a lot more. We're going to talk with Hunter Bagley next segment. But just kind of talk about your teammates, man. What makes it so special to be a part of this team?
I feel like it's the bond that we have. We go through so many practices together, going through many hours of grueling pain, getting to condition together, getting to learn things from each other, especially like when we go through live, there's teaching moments where we could tell, hey, you could do this instead of, just teaching each other what we can do wrong and right.
Talking about your team, obviously you have aspirations to be at state next weekend in Huntsville. Talk about some of your other teammates, not the ones that people know about, but who are some guys that people don't know about that you could see sneaking up and taking a spot and going to Huntsville?
One person that catches my brain is Demetrius Smart. He's a first-year wrestler, and he's really caught me by surprise because he's a really lanky guy. He had a brother that wrestled last year. He was a senior, and apparently the brother told him that he would not last with wrestling, but he's really surprised me. He's done really good. He's won some matches that I thought he would never win, and he's come really close to some ranked people.
You said his name's Demetrius.
Demetrius, not Demetrius.
Oops, well, I've been screwing that one up all year long. Demerit's smart. What kind of name's that? I didn't even get it right. All right, let's talk about this north section. Obviously, you guys are in the north, and Caleb, this is a stacked section. I mean, the list goes on. Amount of teams in this section that have some of the top guys. Just kind of talk about this war zone. I mean, you're basically going to have to put on armor and go into battle at sectionals and talk about what just the level of competition and then kind of what you have to do to make sure you're one of those top guys.
So in my weight class, in the north section, I have all those good teams. So I got Cherokee County, David Herrick at rank number 1. And I have Nick Williamson from Asheville and Caden Thornton. And then I have Colton Mayfield, Emmett Rasmussen from St. James.
Oh, they're south. They're south.
Oh, sorry. But I know there's some people that are ranked above me. But pretty much all of them are in that north section, and I'm going to have to find ways to get better so I can win those matches so I can place good at state.
You want me to tell you something pretty cool?
Tell me something pretty cool.
Those rankings, they're just made by some guy sitting in his house in Pleasant Valley, so them rankings really don't mean crap.
I know, rankings
it's all
don't mean
about
anything.
It's all about hitting the map.
Those seeds don't mean nothing. The ranks don't mean nothing. The records don't mean nothing. Once you get to sectionals, your record's 0-0. None of that matters.
And we had a local guy last year from White Plains. He had lost to the kid from Sachs. I think it was 4 times. Got him in the state finals, and he beat him. It's all about winning that one time. So, Caleb, let's just kind of talk about staying focused when you get down there, because you get down there and you're a guy that's going to have to watch your weight. You're going to have to manage your weight. So you're not going to be able to go eat the Cheetos and go to the Waffle House and play PS5 all night. You're a guy that's going to have to kind of stay laser focused on the task at hand, which is spitting, running. And you may not be that close, but you're going to have to watch what you do and staying focused when coach may put you in a room with some dummies that don't want to stay focused. But no, talk about staying focused when you're traveling and, you have all those distractions around you.
There's definitely a lot of things that can be distractions. You could goof off in the hotel rooms, but one thing that keeps me focused is the main goal of just doing the best I can. Just wanting to be able to perform the best. So because you never know what the other people could be doing. Those other people could be goofing off, and you could be there, locked in, be ready to wrestle the next day.
Yeah, absolutely. Caleb, kind of looking towards potentially wrestling at state, man, what would that mean to you to just have that opportunity to get to wrestle for a state championship?
Well, last year I was a state qualifier, and I went 2-0 at state. So this year my goal is definitely going to be to win a couple matches, even place, because I want to improve from last year into coming into this year.
What are you doing this final week up to sectionals in terms of preparation? Are you wrestling live a lot? Are you working on technique? What are you guys doing to make sure that you hit your peak this weekend?
Really, right now, we're working on a lot of conditioning, be sure we can get the best shape of the season, and really just polishing technique, doing the things that you would work and just really get good at it so you can hit those moves whenever you want.
Talk about Austin Bragg. What's he like? What's he mean to you?
He's been a great coach. I've wrestled with him ever since my youth. He's been one of those major points in my life. He's changed the way I think about things. He really pushes me to be the best and pushes all those wrestlers in that room to be the best they can be.
All right, I know I'm asking you a lot of questions, but I'm going to keep going for just another couple minutes. Who is Caleb Tidwell away from wrestling? Tell me something about him that people wouldn't know.
Well, I really try to work my hardest in everything I do. I want to be the best I can in everything I do, so I want to lead as an example to other people so they could see what working hard looks like and feels like. And I really just want to show people what it's like to go through adversity and just still be able to rise to the top.
What's one thing you like that nobody would expect? Nobody would think. What's something you like or something you do that people would be like, man, I would never expect that?
Well, one thing that catches a lot of people by surprise, I'm a big sushi guy. I love eating sushi, anything Japanese. I'll eat it all day long if I had the chance.
Caleb, I hate to tell you that's pretty bad. I don't like sushi myself. But all right, that is Caleb Tidwell of the Piedmont Bulldogs. He is looking to make a big impact at sectionals this weekend in Birmingham in the North Sectional. And so we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk with another Piedmont Bulldog wrestler as we continue our preview of the Piedmont Bulldogs as we approach sectionals tomorrow. You're watching The Locker Room presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.
Ted's Floors and Beyond is excited to introduce our all-new outdoor living collection. Have you ever dreamed of elevating or even creating an outdoor living space, whether it be for grilling, lounging, playing, entertaining, or just winding down? Our quality tile and stone, combined with our expert craftsmanship, will no doubt create unforgettable outdoor moments with family and friends, while also enhancing the beauty and value of your home. Call us today.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today. For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
We continue on the Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. We've made it to our final segment of the day, and we are talking with Hunter Bagley of the Piedmont Bulldogs. Hunter, man, just talk about how we are already at the end of the season. Talk about how you feel like your season's been. Man, it's pretty crazy to think that we're already at sectionals, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, time flies so fast when you're a wrestler, and it's just too fast, man. I don't got long, but I don't want it to go that fast. It's too fast.
Hunter, what grade are you in?
I'm a junior, so I'm in 11th grade.
So you still got another year. What weight class are you for everybody out there?
I'm 146.
146. That's a tough weight class. Hunter, you look at this section, though, most of these guys in this weight class, though, are in the South. And that's one of your weight classes. In the North, it's a little open because guys like, not saying that you can't beat these guys, but guys like Austin Mayfield is a guy that comes to mind. He's in the South. Obviously, he's kind of the one that most people are looking at. Noah Screws is not he's a decent 144. He's in the South. Obviously, you got Corner in the North, Oak Grove's in the South. So looking at your section, I mean, 144 seems a little more open than, maybe the South section. So, but it's still a war zone in terms of teams. There's still a lot of really good teams. So when you look at 144 or 146 and you look at the North section, talk about the competition, how you feel like you fit into that.
I fit in pretty well because, like you said, most of them's in the South. So I have a really good chance at doing really good at the sectionals. And I think, personally, I'll make the finals with John Luca, because he's probably the only other one that's up there, other than Corner and the other one. But yeah, I have a pretty good chance here, and I could do something with this.
Have you made the state before?
Well, technically the COVID year, but everyone made the state that year.
I don't count that year. I'm sorry, but I've seen guys rocking around with their COVID state shirts, and I'm like, man, that's not even cool, bro. That's like not even making it. But what would it mean for you to make it legitimately? Like, you wrestled, you placed in the top 6, and you made it to Huntsville, and to have the opportunity to wrestle there now with it not being a COVID year, not having an asterisk next to it.
It'd be the world of me, man, because last year I kind of fumbled the bag at sectionals, losing the first round when I shouldn't. So making the state would be everything for me. So I would love to feel that.
I fumbled the bag twice, my guy. In my 9th grade year, my junior year, I lost in blood round, led by 7 points in both matches going in the 3rd period. So yeah, I fumbled the bag a lot worse than you did. But let's look at just team as a whole. We asked, Caleb about this, a.k.a. Dawson. That's what I call him. But I asked him about just, this team as a whole, what makes it so great to be a part of this program, what's made you guys so successful. What would you say is the reason for that?
We're all loving, caring. We try to push each other at each practice and staying disciplined and stuff like that. Don't do anything dumb. Just give it all, everyone 100%. For me, I give it 120% because that's all you got to do. Just go in the match, give it everything you got. And this team is really great at that, keeping their heads up and stuff. If their heads go down, we just got to boost their, happiness levels, I guess.
Yeah.
So keep everyone good and happy, and let's just go wrestle at that point. So.
You and Caleb, if y'all were to wrestle at practice, maybe you do. Who's the better wrestler?
Me. I'm 1,000% the better wrestler.
Okay.
He might be a little bit heavier than me, but I got strength for that, so, I could beat him.
So I didn't ask him, so you got the good question right there. Is there anybody on the team that you can't beat?
Right now Isaac's hurt, but he's a pretty good wrestler, and it's hard to beat him. Even though he weighs less and stuff like that, he's a really good wrestler, and it would take a lot out of me to beat him.
Yeah, man, one time we did the little King of the Hill, and I come in at 108, and I got up to about 145, and I thought, I'm going to run the course. And I got that 45 in there, and that's all she wrote. I was back out on the wall again. But let's just talk about going to sectionals. I asked, Coach this question. I asked Caleb this question. You go to a new city, you're staying in a hotel. There's a lot of ways to get distracted and not stay focused on making weight, staying focused on mentally being prepared to wrestle. How do you go down there and stay focused?
So I like listening to music a lot. It keeps me focused and stuff. And others, when they try to goof off and stuff, they try to bring that towards me. I try not to accept that. I try to, whip them up in shape and make sure they don't goof off too much. Because like Coach said, it's a business trip. Yeah, you can have some fun, but it's a business trip, and we got work to do. Until all that work's done, you can't be goofing off that much. So just try and stay focused like that.
Are you and Caleb guys that go to Coach and go, hey, Coach, don't put this guy in my room? Or are you kind of guys that's like, hey, I trust Coach is going to kind of do what he thinks is right?
Yeah, I trust Coach with everything. He puts the best guys out there, and let's just see where it goes from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at your team, obviously you guys have got some really good guys on your team that have made some noise. I kind of asked Caleb, who's the guy that he thinks could slide in there, maybe be a bracket buster that people aren't talking about. For you, who's the guy on your team that you could see maybe going in there and people are going, this guy was nobody I thought was going to make it a state, but here he is.
Probably Elijah Young, because it's his first year, and not a lot of people know him. Winning 30 your first year is a big thing. I didn't win that much my first year, but he's good for his first year. He hasn't learned too terribly much, but hey, he's got what it takes. He's got the heart. He's shown it in matches. So yeah, I think Elijah, he's a good one. 215.
Yeah, well, my first year, now I won 4 matches. Went 4-27. Now, did I weigh 84 pounds and wrestle 113 so I could be in the lineup? Yes, I did, but no excuses. I refuse to make excuses, 40 pounds or whatever. I was actually looking at track wrestling, looking at some of them guys. Zachary Van Os was the 1 seed in my bracket at 113. I weighed 84 pounds. Could you imagine if I had wrestled him? But, Hunter, just talk about who is Hunter? Like, obviously off the mat. Who are you?
Off the mat, I like playing video games a lot, and I don't really talk to people a lot. I'm just like, I keep to myself, and I like working out and stuff like that. It's fun, shooting basketball and stuff like that, but other than that, I'm not really much, to be honest with you.
Are you on the esports team?
Oh, yeah, I am.
What game?
League of Legends.
Is that what you like to play?
I love playing League of Legends. That's actually what I do at home sometimes, too.
I was going to ask what all games you play. What console?
I got PS5.
Come on, add me. What games you play?
I play Rambo, Fortnite.
Okay, we're good.
I play a bunch of video games.
Any sports games?
I usually used to play UFC and stuff like that. NBA. I played some Madden. Not too much of a Madden fan, but.
All right, we're going to run some duos on Fortnite. We might even stream that. We'll see about that. But Hunter, sectionals this weekend, man. I hope that you have a great show, and I hope that you obviously make it a state. We get to talk next week in Huntsville. But just final question I want to ask you, and we kind of just talked a little bit about that, kind of who you are off the mat. But what do you want to be remembered for this season?
I want to be remembered for the guy that gave his all every single match, never gave up, and just keeps pushing everybody. Make them better, and the bald kid too. That one's a good one.
What's your nickname?
Fester, Uncle Fester.
I think Sling Blade. But all right, we're going to go ahead, and that is going to do it for us today. That's going to do it for our sectionals preview for East Alabama wrestling teams and teams outside of East Alabama. You've seen those coaches as well from the Montgomery area, Huntsville area. So we hope that we wish best of luck to all teams at sectionals. And for me, that's going to do it for this week. And we hope that you have a great weekend. We'll see you back Monday as it'll officially be the week of state. And we'll be right back out here again and other places doing this all over again with the guys that have made it to state. So a lot of guys' seasons will come to an end this weekend while others will continue. We'll continue with them next week. So thank you guys. Have a great weekend. God bless. I'm Namath Pitts, and you have been watching The Locker Room presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.